All right, let's cross live to Zamfara State capital, Gusau, and speak to Governor Dauda Lawal. Thanks so much for joining us on Newsnight. It's good to have you on the show. Well, it's interesting to hear that you believe that banditry is, reducing in Zamfara State. But there is a report that says that Borno and Zamfara, your state, which you govern, is on the highest list of, number of fatalities in Q1 of 2025 alone. What is the basis of your conclusion that banditry is reducing in Zamfara State?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity to be with you today. Like I mentioned in my earlier speech, that banditry is going down gradually. I am actually saying the truth, because if you compare the numbers in the past and the numbers today, the number is declining on a daily basis. Banditry is something that we inherited for the past 12 years in Zamfara State. And under my administration, we're making conscious effort to make sure it is given the top priority. We need to secure lives of our people so that they can go about doing their normal business, which will lead to development. So yes, the number of attacks is reducing by the day.
Mr. Governor, just so before this one comes in, exactly what was the number, when you came in, and what is the number currently, so that we get a clearer picture of what you're saying?
Well, I wish I can give you the exact number, but it's something that I can give you. The records are there. In the past, you will recall that almost on a daily basis, you hear that 100 people, 200 people are killed in different parts of the state. But now you hardly hear such number of people being attacked or being killed in Zamfara State. There may be some attacks in some places here and there, but not the way it used to be in the past. You hardly record this number of people being killed in Zamfara State today, based on what we're doing in collaboration with other security agencies in the state. And we have given this our top priority.
Yeah, I think you've partly answered my question, Governor Dauda Lawal. I was going to ask you, what is responsible for the decline? Because I remember a conversation I had with you on Arise Prime Time exactly 7 months ago. And you made a shocking revelation that went viral when you said you knew who the people behind the attacks were. You knew their parents, you knew their homes, but you could not go after them. 7 months after, you're here saying that it's declined. What exactly is responsible for that?
Well, I think part of the reason why I said it's declining is because there's a clear understanding and collaboration between the state government as well as the federal government and all the security agencies. We are getting some kind of cooperation which wasn't there before. And I believe the synergy is working now. And that is why I said banditry has gone down drastically. And we have taken it very, very serious. We put all hands on deck to make sure we secure lives and properties of our people. And that is why I'm telling you, based also on the numbers and the information I'm receiving from all the security agencies, the numbers are declining on a daily basis.
Great news, Governor Dauda Lawal. So how is it that you're not sharing this formula, whatever it is that is working this collaboration with the other northern states who met just recently, and you all called for the implementation of state police now, as in urgently? If insecurity is on the decline in your state, one will wonder, why are we not seeing that across board? And why then do you need state police?
Well, part of the reason why we all met 3 days ago in Kaduna was actually to discuss about the issue of insecurity, especially in the Northeast, because within the last 2 weeks, there has been a series of attacks in the Northeast. And it is something that is of concern to all of us as leaders in our respective states. And we sat down, we discussed issues as well as modalities on what would be the best way to handle the situation. You know, some of these things is not something that I can come out in the media and say this is what we're doing or that and so on. But what I'm telling you is we're making conscious effort to look at the whole situation so as to look at it from the holistic angle. Both the security forces as well as state governments, governors, sat together and discuss on the way forward. And a committee is set up also to go in deep to look at the situation and how do we handle so as to guide against future occurrences of this series of attacks that is taking place in the Northeast.
And you've launched this 140 vehicles today. Interesting development. And of course, you also have the Zamfara Community Protection Guards. It's been set up since, I think, 2024. The alleged, misnomers going on with this community guards, the issue of, extrajudicial killings and what have you. Are you looking at these allegations? What are you doing to address those allegations? And how effective, really, would you say that the Zamfara Community Protection Guard has been?
Well, I will categorically say that the Zamfara State Community Protection Guard are doing incredibly well in their respective local government. Like I always said, they are the first line of attack, defense, whenever there's such attack in our communities. And also understand that these people live within their communities and they understand the terrain better than the conventional security. So in most cases, they lead these security forces where there is such attack. So I can confidently say that they are doing very well. They've done very well and they are still doing very well. And we will continue to encourage them to do even more by providing logistics, by providing all sorts of things that can make it easy for them to work and protect the community. And I believe that's the reason why, even part of the meeting we had in Kaduna, we discussed about community policing, because you need to have people that understand the terrain. It's only when you do that, they'll be able to look at this and fight this holistically. So yes, community policing is on the agenda, and I believe by the time we do that, I think that will also go a long way in solving most of these issues, because they live within the locality, they know the people, they understand them, they understand the terrain better than the conventional security.
Now, you're addressing the issues of, allegations of extrajudicial killings. Has that been investigated at all? What are you finding out?
Well, whenever we had cases like that, we make sure it's fully investigated. Sometimes there may be some political issues here and there. But of course, we will not just put that aside. But I can assure you that whenever we have such cases in any part of the Zamfara state, we make sure we investigate it fully. Right now, of course, there are some people in detention where some of such situation happens, just to ascertain and make sure their level of involvement. And if, for whatever reason, they are fully involved in this, justice will be done.
Mr. Governor, yeah, about 2 weeks shy of being 2 years in office. I recall when you came into office, you reported you met 4 million naira in the coffers of the government. Today, you're telling us that insecurity is on the decline. You're launching different initiatives in the health sector, security. How are you funding this? Is this from your security vote?
Well, let me make that categorical statement. When I took over in Zamfara State, yes, I met only 4 million naira with a lot of liabilities, ranging from non-payment of salaries for 4 months, ranging from non-payment of gratuity and pension, and so on and so forth. Non-payment of WAEC and NECO, which has now become history, because that has already been taken care of. And I'm also happy to tell you that part of what we did was to make sure we settle everybody, including the pensioners, where we settled 16.5 billion to pensioners from 2023 to date. 2013 to date. So that is something that we are proud of. And not just only in that aspect also, we have settled NECO, we've settled WAEC, we've settled all the backlog of salaries and everything. What I can say is we're just being prudent with our finances. We have not borrowed a dime in all this thing that we do. Even the cars that you saw today that have distributed 140 brand new cars, all were paid for. Not a single kobo was borrowed. So we're being very, very prudent in terms of our financial management. And of course, our internal generated revenue has also gone up. When I took over, our IGR was only 90 million. And I'm happy to tell you that now we're making 2-point-something billion, and it's increasing month-on-month basis.
All right, that's quite interesting. In spite of this improvement, I mean, are you able to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage? Because your state has been fingered alongside a few other northern states as not being able to pay the 70,000 minimum wage. I'd like you to address that. And finally, from me, the issue, Amaechi, former governor of Rivers State, says today's governors lack the balls to address issues that concern the people. What do you say to that?
Well, let me also make a very, very categorical statement here. And let me just take you back lane of history. When I took over in Zamfara State, the minimum wage then was 7,000 naira. And I was able to implement the 30,000 naira then. And I'm also happy to tell you that I've implemented this minimum wage of 70,000 naira in Zamfara State. And let me also say this, we pay our salaries on the 25th of every month, and we have never failed to pay salaries. So that is for the record. Let it be very, very straight. You can confirm this information from anywhere. You have your reporters here. You can ask them whether we implemented the 70,000 naira or not, and I'm sure they'll confirm that to you.
And the second
question in response to Amaechi's position that current governors don't have balls to address issues that affect the people. In other words, they don't have the balls to speak to power.
Well, I don't think that applies to all the governors. Yeah, there may be issues in some of the governors, but in Zamfara State, we don't have that issue. We are concerned about people, and everything that we're doing is about people. It's about development. It's about bringing development to our community. And I think Zamfara State has done incredibly well in that aspect. Look, this is a state that has faced too many challenges, ranging from infrastructure. Look at education. We used to be at the bottom in the area of education. Health sector, non-existent. So there are too many things, but I can say that that is in the past because, first of all, we paid every individual worker's salaries, the backlog that we inherited for 4 months. We paid political appointees, we paid even state assembly, we paid judiciary, and that cost a lot of money in billions. That has been settled. We settled NECO, we settled WAEC, we settled KEDCO, and now we settle all the pensioners from 2013 to date. I mean, what more can we do with all the little resources that we receive? And we're still doing a lot more in terms of schools, infrastructure. We have renovated over 450 schools in Zamfara State as we speak, fully furnished, and even the hospitals. Yeah. Out of 14 local government, we have done 7 local government fully equipped. Your reporters can testify to that.
Indeed. Mr. Governor, we cannot let you go without talking a bit of politics. And I think what the former governor of Rivers State was referring to was the audacity of governors to actually challenge powers, or constituted authority, as we like to call them. You're a member of the PDP, and we all know what's happening in your political party. Some describe it as a one-man show. And yet, you have governors who are unable to do anything. But that aside, the House of Representatives has been summoning you to appear before it, and you continue to decline.
Why is that?
Well, I don't think the National Assembly has the authority or the power to invite governors to National Assembly. The Constitution is very, very clear. There's nothing to say in that aspect. They don't have the power to invite governors on internal issues.
Okay, I guess that's clear. clear enough. We could take you up all night, but we'll have to let you go because of your busy schedule, of course. The governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, joining us tonight on Newsnight. Many thanks.